right. August 26th meeting of Inlands Wetlands Commission. Call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. Make a motion to start the meeting.
Started.
Okay,
Okay. You want to do a roll call first?
that's right, thank you. Roll call, sitting to my left is Rob Scalera. Next to him would be Robert Hutterman. I'm Tom Keller again, and to my right is David Franco.
And Mr. Chair, we'll be seating the alternate, Robert Scalera, tonight?
Yes, Robert Scalera will be a voting member tonight. Okay, first on the agenda for active sites, 100 Candlewood Lake Road.
Would you like me just to go through these?
Yes, yeah, why don't you have her go through it inland wetlands?
Certainly.
Okay,
Good,
so I've been
sorry.
out
Oh,
to
that's
100
okay. Don't say
Candlewood
sorry
Lake
at all.
Road. It is the school, as everyone knows. They are moving a little bit forward. I had a site walk with the construction company. They still have a lot to be done. I do understand that baseline reports are going to be required by this commission prior to signing off on any COs. We are not there yet. I'm cautiously optimistic I might have a report for you at your next meeting. I will continue trying. 23 Graysbridge Road, there were two different project site visit reports. Nothing appeared out of the ordinary as far as that, the erosion controls. There's a little cleanup that has to happen. I was there after the major storm event. I didn't see anything all that terrible, so it seems like the ENS measures are holding in place. They're talking about getting a trying to get their CO to get in the building at the end of next month, roughly. I don't think anyone's here for that project. 58 Old Graysbridge Road, we just have continued on the agenda for right now for the update. There is a mitigation for PCBs at that site that's going forward. There's an EPA side issue in addition to our actual wetlands plan, so that's staying on the agenda for right now. And then there is somebody here to speak, Attorney Olson, for 468 Federal Road, Brookfield News, and I will let you go ahead and speak for that rather than.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Peter Olson. I'm an attorney with an office in Bethel at 275 Greenwood Avenue. My firm name is Land Use and Conservation Counsel. I represent Shape Properties, LLC, which is the owner of the property, represented here by its principal member, Raphael Marin. This should be pretty straightforward. In 2018, you approved a wetlands permit for this project, which is an affordable housing project with multiple buildings, a number of units spread out across those buildings. As part of your approval, you required that the property owner record in the land records a stormwater maintenance agreement that had certain conditions, which you laid out in your approval. The owner of the property at the time, Demarcate LLC, failed to do this. I think it just slipped through the cracks. So we bought the property in 2022, and it's now our responsibility to get it done. I drafted a stormwater maintenance agreement. I provided it to staff. One of the conditions of the stormwater maintenance agreement was that we prepare as well an integrated land management plan, integrated pesticide management plan. I don't know if you are familiar with those concepts and what they are, but essentially it's just using a light touch with pesticides and fertilizers. The bare minimum is needed to keep everything in good shape. So we engaged Abigail Adams of A2 Land Consulting to prepare the plan, which is incorporated in the stormwater management plan. Says we've got to follow it, and that was also submitted to staff. My understanding is it was referred to the board for review. We'd like you to review it and give us approval to go record it in land records, execute it and record it. Mr. Marin is here and can tell you the status of the project if you have any questions. Thank you. That's all I have.
We have the agreement.
We've had the agreement actually for I think the last two meetings to go over and review, just as far as it's pretty much verbatim the same agreement that was originally agreed upon by the commission. It needs to be executed by the chair just based off of the language, and any kind of modifications, including a change of owner, had to be brought up before the commission. I didn't have authorization to be able to execute this, and since it does have an area for the chair to sign, it does need a signature for them to go forward. It's holding up their project.
Do you feel it's acceptable?
I do.
Okay, you want to do it?
Any discussion?
I'm good.
No.
Make a motion to accept the proposed stormwater pollution maintenance agreement for 468 Federal Road, Brookfield Mews.
Second.
I'll second it.
If I could suggest that you also authorize your chair to sign the document.
And authorize the chair to sign the document necessary to put it in the land records.
I'll second. It's all right.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0.
Thank you very much. We'll prepare an execution copy, have it executed, and deliver it with a check for reporting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, enforcement, 35 Merwin Brook Road.
So currently, we have citations issued. They've been going forward since July 20th, so that's about 37 days, so it's $3,700 currently. At the last meeting, they did give a copy of the lawn and landscape report from Bruzzy. I don't believe there's anyone here on this application. So we are still just going forward with citations until I hear otherwise.
All right, and they haven't come forward and communicated.
The only communication I received was prior to the last meeting. They do have their landscaper who wrote a letter saying, hey, the reason why we didn't do the plantings is because we don't have water on the site.
Okay.
They don't have a well. I do know the construction is moving forward. I don't believe that they have a well yet. So that's, I don't have any further update as far as
Yeah, but
that's
you said they're going ahead with some, they have the permit to build?
They now have a permit to build.
Okay, so then they have to have a septic well layout.
Yes, but it hasn't.
But it hasn't been
It wasn't,
installed.
had been
It hasn't been installed.
installed by the last meeting that
Okay.
I'm aware of.
Okay.
So just leave that on the,
I would leave it on the agenda.
Yep.
all right.
11A Crossroad, are you, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jim McManus. I'm a certified professional soil scientist with Van Wetlands Consulting Services. I've been retained by the owners of the property to look into their violation, and I was there this afternoon, and I flagged the wetlands, and I just reviewed on what was happening. And I guess the good news is they didn't cut or fill or impact any wetlands. All of the vegetation removal was in the upper review area. There is, as some of the crossroad projects that I've been on, these older homes have been let go, and the new owners come in and they want to revitalize the properties. And as you've known from another one I was on that's on the agenda tonight, they are in tough shape. Lots of vines, dead trees, lots of trash. I mean, the 11A had unbelievable trash, and that's after they started to clean it. So, the wetland boundary falls along a rough boundary along fill and debris piles, and that have been there for decades, who knows. And so they didn't fill any wetlands in, and there's a vegetated buffer, and it varies between 15 feet and over 24 feet from where he stopped cutting. So I'm on the fence on what to propose. Well, my plan would be, I haven't put it together yet, but I sketched out some notes today, and I would just continue with the removal of the debris. He's not gonna go in any further than what he already did, other than maybe pour out some debris. But there's debris left on the area that has now been growing grass where he cut the trees down. So we'll complete that removal, because there's broken glass in there and all kinds of other stuff. Old wood with nails. Stabilize any exposed areas. Right now there are none. And then I was thinking of having a little planting plan put together, but he already has a 15 to 24 foot buffer of untouched vegetated buffer. Most of it's herbaceous, I grant it. There are some invasive species, there are some just shrubs that he didn't cut. Because what happens is that the ground comes down off the 11, and then it comes into 11A where it flattens out, and then there's like a little hump, and it goes down on fill into the wetlands. He kind of stopped at that part, so this part hasn't been touched yet. And it varies depending on where my flag was and where you wanna take. So that's what I observed today.
Did they take down trees in the wetland area or no?
Just in the upland review area, but the wetland hasn't been impacted, in my opinion, by that activity, because there's still plenty of shade. Like I said, there's still a 24-foot, 15-foot buffer, depending on where you are, that's still adjacent to a wetland that has already been impacted.
So you're suggesting that let them clean up some of the, stuff?
Don't go any further.
Don't go any further, but
Clean up, finish his cleanup.
Right.
He wants to turn it in so his yard could have, the kids can, he has small kids, so the kids can play. So he wanted to clean up the yard, grade it, seed it, and that'll be it. And then it's tough to say without pictures, I'll have pictures next time, but there's a line, he demarcated a line, he just stopped his removal, he just stopped. Whatever reason, he just did, maybe because of the hump, he just said, that's good enough. Because he didn't really know about the wetland regs and all that stuff, but he just happened to stop there. And I told him, I go, that's it, you're done here, no more.
Laura, what are your thoughts on this?
So technically anything within, well, there's kind of water course, a little
There is
entry, water course.
there's definitely a water course.
Anything within 100 feet of the water course is considered a regulated area.
Right.
Generally, we do like some form of vegetated buffer between any kind of water course. It's up to the commission to determine. I've seen anything, I do know what you're talking about. Some places it's a little narrower, other places 30 feet, which is kind of where we generally go. It has been suggested.
Right.
20 to 30 feet as a nice shaded area. I don't know how many trees were cut down on this property.
know if we can ever.
I don't know, yes.
You're not gonna be able to determine that.
So, maybe just try to get a consistent barrier between, or buffer between the actual water course, maybe where it's 15 feet, can we do a few plantings or?
What I would recommend, keep this dragging on, I was gonna say, you gotta visit the site. You'll get a much better, even with my pictures, you'll visit the site, you'll see exactly what he did, there's no secret. And then get a feel for, you'll see my flags are out there. Pink and blue flags tied together with a number on it. And you can get a feel for it. And I don't wanna drag it on forever either.
Are you going out there, Laura?
I've been out there before, I know there's been a fence installed since the, so I think,
Oh, around, yeah,
Yeah.
well, that would be an after the fact.
yeah. So
It's
that was
not in
the other part
wetland-
of the.
It's not in the wetlands, but it's, everything he's done, including a small portion of the fence, is in the upland review.
Correct.
So he needed a permit
To do the
stuff.
activities, so an after
So
the fact.
we need an
permit.
after the fact permit. Now, whether you think that my proposal of just stopping what he's done, work and behind us would be what he would fix up, or do we need a little bit more? We're open to suggestions, to feelings. It is pretty disturbed and a mess down there. So what he's leaving is a bunch of debris and fill, which is about 15 to 24 feet to the water course, the wetland edge. None of it's natural. There is no natural here. Everything has been man-placed.
Well, you said there's some invasive species in there
There's
too?
some, yep, there are.
He's not removing that?
I would say no, because then
Okay.
you're starting to drag equipment or people in there when it's not necessary. If you're gonna do that, I'd let them clean out everything.
What are your thoughts, Laura?
I don't know if I agree with that either.
First, it's up to the commission as far as what they decide. I definitely think that we do have to continue going forward with the cleanup. If we're pulling out the kind of debris that's been discussed, that's not
Well,
helpful for.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of debris removed, but there's more that needs to be done.
I don't know if the commission's inclined to take a site visit. If you want me to arrange a site visit, I'll go out and try to take some photos of where it stands right now versus, cause I
Alright.
think the last time I was out was in the winter at some point in time. I think there was
Okay,
snow.
why don't we do that then?
Yeah.
Why don't we-
Yep.
I'll have some information too. I'll have my report, of what I did today. I'll have some photographs.
Right. All right, I would just say we continue this.
Okay,
Let
and
me
then do
know
you
when-
wanna maybe next time come with a possible proposal for what I would definitely include the fence on there for after the fact, for a remediation application,
We'd
that-
probably have to know if there's
I-
any machinery that has to go in there to clean up the debris.
No,
I don't think we're gonna do any machinery,
Again, it'll
no.
be all in the upland review area, there'll be no need for any of that. Like I said, where he stopped, I I'm not gonna repeat it again, but 15 to 24 feet roughly, except for maybe up by the culvert.
Okay.
And there's no reason to go in there. If you go in there with equipment, then we're going in full board there. We're going in hard. I would just leave it alone. It is what it is at this point. It's been there for many, many decades, except for maybe some wood and stuff that might be fairly new. But other than that, I think it's been in there forever. There's bricks,
Okay.
Can we,
You know,
okay it for them to clean the
shingles.
rubbish
It's a mess.
and do a site visit?
huh?
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
Sounds like my
Go
yard.
forward with that, at some point in time, we will absolutely need, of course, a remediation application, which he knows, just to kind of solidify what is allowed and what isn't allowed.
Right,
know-
but can we allow them to remove the rubbish at this point and,
As long as we're going by hand, I don't see a problem with any kind of removal that's going
It's
on,
gonna be
as long as
used
we
by,
don't.
he's not doing it by hand, right? I doubt it's gonna, the trash that's left behind, we can't remove that by hand, right? The shingles and all that stuff,
So,
you can do it by hand? Machine?
just some of the stuff is.
Yeah, some of it,
but not all of
most of it is gonna need a machine, it's just gonna make
You,
it easier.
you know, my inclination is it should be cleaned up.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely.
it shouldn't be left there.
It's not in the wetlands.
So
There's
it-
debris in the wetlands, but the debris I'm chatting about and talking about tonight is not in the wetlands.
So I don't even know 100% what debris is there, because there was still snow covering the mounds
Well,
of debris when I was there last,
There's
so.
glass,
yeah.
there's bricks, there's asphalt, there's,
Okay.
wood with lots of nails and rotting, just who knows where it's from.
And then we're gonna remove the debris off-site?
Yeah,
I think it should be responsibly removed
Exactly.
and disposed of, you know, in a responsible
Offsite.
manner.
I mean, it's just really, it's goes into a dumpster or a trash barrel and just
And they take it
take it off
off-site.
the site. It's not like it's hazardous waste or
Alright.
something.
Alright, so Laura, you go out and do some pictures next week.
Well,
Next-
do some
for the next
pictures,
meeting,
if you
and
could
can
have
you-
them coordinate with me as far as time, or let me on the property, cause I know there's
Yeah, there is,
an extensive fence,
yes,
so.
there is an extensive fence.
So, I'm fine with that,
Right.
and then,
And we'll come back in with a little bit more detail.
Okay.
Thank you.
Like I make a motion to continue this?
make a motion to continue 11A Cross Road pending a site visit and some site maps? He's gonna, our pictures?
I'll do some pictures, and provide some pictures as well, in addition to his, updated
Little
report.
I'll have a little report and, at least what I did today, and then we talk about the next steps maybe.
Okay. I'll second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you. 499
499
Cross Road.
So 499 Federal is on the agenda because it's just as a reminder that they must have their plantings completed by November 15th, 2024. So it's just a place saver.
Yep,
I can go on to 2A Crossroad if you like.
I would like that very much.
And why
It's
don't we continue again for 99 Federal Road?
It just actually doesn't even need to be
It
continued.
does- okay, it
Because
just-
it's just a reminder on the
Okay.
agenda saying that this is the very last step. It's not still.
Yep, no, that's good.
So 2A Crossroad, I spoke with the owner today. There was a bit of confusion about everything, but I think we've got it all sorted out, and we should be expecting an application and the attendance at the September 9th meeting. So I would just motion to continue that.
Motion to continue 2A Cross Road.
So moved.
I'll
All in
just-
favor?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Who made the second?
Dave Franco.
Dave. Okay, who made the motion then?
I did.
Tom? Okay, sorry.
Is that right? 84 Laurel Hill Road.
So 84 Laurel Hill, I sent an email on August 14th, August 14th, requesting an app by, August 22nd. I haven't received any. I'm a little bit surprised by this because he's been very responsive so far. So I'm thinking either maybe a vacation week or something that I would give him to the next meeting before going any further with any enforcement action. Or
Okay.
further enforcement action.
So hold that over till next meeting?
Yes, please. I'll reach out to him again.
All right.
Continuance.
continue 84 Laurel Hill Road to the next meeting.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 4-0. Number 6, 3 Crossroad.
So 3 Cross Road, we actually received our application right before the last wetlands meeting, so that's on the agenda for later on. I don't know if you wanna make a motion to move it up to now. I do know we have the applicant present. So if you wanted to make a motion to move 6A, new business for 3 Cross Road.
Okay, make a motion to move enforcement 3 Cross Road to new business.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. So that's on new business now.
So we do have Mr. Scalzo here to present his own application.
I think we have to move to 6A.
We're gonna move to 6A, or you wanna just finish up
This is 3 Cross Road.
okay.
So this is 6A, it's, of new business is 3 Cross Road. So that was his violation, now we're jumping to
Okay,
the plan
we're
he
gonna-
actually submitted to remediate, we're just kinda keeping them
We'll
together.
jump to 6A and then go back to,
To the very last.
The High
one.
Ridge?
Yes.
7.
that works.
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. We have our copy? We have 3 Cross Road?
Sounds a lot like Lebanon, too. A lot of cleanup.
Seems like Cross Road, there was some things going on.
The Aiken stopped by my house yesterday, who originally built it
Oh,
50, 60 years ago.
Who's this?
Aikens?
Oh, Fred Baker, John Baker.
No, Aiken.
Oh,
Not
Aiken.
Bacon. It was the Aikens and the Bacons.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Bacon's,
Fran died, John still.
Fran died. Claire bought it, his house.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone has a copy.
Actually,
You want a chair?
could you just state your name and
don't
name
have-
Cassandra? Oh, when she sits back down?
No, you keep your.
No, you keep your chair.
You have my
Okay.
yeah, instead of taking this one off, I'm gonna say yours. Only 'cause it's all in the folder. I don't wanna take it all apart.
Alright, so more or less,
Wait, we need name and address
Oh.
first.
Paul Scalzo, 3 Crossroads.
Okay.
But it's a lot of cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
To remove things. Most of it's by hand. Everything in the wetlands is by hand. Just beer cans. There's a bumper over here, an axle, just a bunch of crap. If anything, I'll attach it to like a truck and drag it out with a chain or something if I need to, but I don't think I will. Other than that, I wanted to tear down a shed, which I think is in the wetlands. It's probably like a 40-year-old shed. I mean, it's right here, but that's where I actually store things right now. So I want to take that out, and I want to put another shed over here where it's flat, where the barn and the chicken coop used to be. A 10 by 14 shed.
Is this not in the wetland, it's in the upland review? or-
It's in the upland review.
Oh, okay.
And then I wanted to do a barn somewhere. I would do that over here outside of the upland review.
Okay.
And that would be, but I would be passing through to do material and everything, and I can do a silt fence where the property slopes, and I can keep the dirt, soil stockpile away, do all that.
What does it say in your sketch here?
Grass.
Grass.
I'm just gonna seed and hang. What was previous? And then I wanted to do the deck, which is barely in the upland review. It's within 150 feet, but I'm planning on tearing it out and putting in a much smaller deck. There's a house here that's not marked on the map. Yeah. And then
The deck is gonna be in the same place as the other one?
deck will be in the same place, different footprint, probably half the size.
It's like in the corner of the house then?
Yep. On the other side of the driveway. And then footing drains. And I want to run footing drains just around the house. And that's demarcated with the line. streams running around the house.
And the footing drains are gonna be emptying into the wetlands?
Yeah, they would push the water to the wetlands.
That isn't on this map that, none of it. Am I looking at the right thing?
No, yeah. I don't know what was printed, but there's a house here. This is where the deck is now.
Mm-hmm.
Deck. And the footing drains I would just run around.
Is that indicated on there?
Yeah,
He's got it sketched on
Okay.
here, yes.
and then grass, everything is really just grass.
You have
And
a
there's,
copy of,
you know, trees
of his, right?
all over the
Okay.
place. Tree here, tree there, tree there, tree there, tree there. There's trees all over.
You're gonna need some, heavier equipment to go in there.
At which part?
Well, initially when you start cleaning it up.
Cleaning it up, I don't, well, I'm gonna need equipment to finish, to do the footings, finish the footings, grade, seed and hay, and that type of thing. Equipment for cleanup, taking out the barn, I would need equipment.
So you get, there's just a little, like, corner of the barn?
Or the shed.
Where's the barn?
The shed, there's a shed left over right, literally like right here.
Okay, where's the barn that you're talking about?
There used to be a barn here. I've removed that, and I removed the chicken coop. I wanna put a barn up over here in the future,
But that's
outside.
outside.
Outside of the, and that's why I'm doing it, is because it's outside the upland review that way. It's easy. But before I take the shed out, I need a place to put my lawnmower. So I wanna put another shed up down where it's flat over here, in a similar location, but not in the wetlands. And I really wanna clean up that shed, cause there's still old crap in it, just from, I don't even know what, previous owners years ago.
And so there's just one corner that sheds in the wetlands then?
I mean, I'd say like, yeah, I'd say a corner half of that, I don't really know. But I know Jim Mark put a flag pretty close to it. So if it's not in it, it's, you know, a foot.
They said you're using equipment to take out the shed, or you're just knocking it down?
I think I gotta take it out, I don't think I can leave it. I mean, there used to be, like, I'm still pulling, like, there's wire running around all here, cause I used to have cattle. So I'm taking that stuff out too, you know.
Right, but when you take out the shed over here, how are you taking that out? Equipment or?
I'll use equipment, yeah. I'll probably just tie it to an excavator and just pick it up and put it in a dumpster. I won't run the machine into the wetlands or anything. Yeah.
Are you familiar with everything he's talking about here?
I'm pretty familiar with the property and what he's discussing.
Okay. How do you
Now, when you
feel
go-
about it?
When you go across the wetlands to put the barn in the back, what, you want everything all done at one time, or what do you want, what are you here for specifically right now? Just to put, just to take down that barn right now, or,
No, I wrote it
or
out
the
in
deck?
phases.
Excuse me?
I wrote it out in phases on
Okay.
my application. So I'm looking for permit to do all the work, but I'm gonna do it in 3 phases. So my first phase is going to be,
Removing that,
well, actually building a shed. Cause
okay.
I gotta put a shed in to take a shed out.
Right.
Cause I got,
Yeah, yeah,
otherwise
sure.
I have no storage,
got it, I
yeah,
got it,
yeah, yeah. And footing drains are primary after, especially after that storm, I gotta get the footing drains done. I mean, this is all hill here, so this grades right into my
Right, right.
house.
So you have to bring in equipment to build a shed, cause like I said, you gotta do the footing drains and stuff.
Oh,
You
yeah,
gotta, yeah.
But it's all in the upland review area,
Right.
as opposed to the wetlands.
Yeah, I'm not going into the wetlands,
Right.
yeah. I'm only gonna walk in the wetlands, like I gotta take the toilet out over here, there's a toilet over here, there's, you know, it's all, just crap.
Stuff that's been thrown in over the years.
Bob, his 3 phases are listed after the commission application page here, so. Yes.
So this is still under new business because of the way that the application was received last time and so it wasn't officially received till tonight, so we can't fully act on it as far as approving the application as a whole. What I would suggest, if you have any questions or any conditions that you would like Mr. Scalzo to go forward with, we can give it to him, so possibly at the next meeting, we can approve it with any kind of modifications. It is a 3-phase plan that he has itemized out, perhaps maybe adding in a condition on the plan set that no machines shall be stored in the wetlands or some of the standard language. I'd be happy to work with him on that on the side, so.
Yeah, I don't believe he's doing work in the wetlands, so.
No,
So.
except for the corner of the shed.
Right.
Yeah, if that is in the wetlands, I'm not even certain it is, but there is a shed there.
So, but just with the standard conditions that is normally proposed, that we don't store any equipment in the wetlands, that we stay out of it, any kind of work after, a certain amount, we put up normal standard erosion sedimentation controls, just the generals.
The standard,
Would you say we should get an updated map on this?
Well, he does have a pretty updated map. That survey's from when?
This is from 3 months ago.
Yes.
I did the survey
The end
for
of
this.
June.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
Okay.
it's pretty new.
Yeah, no, well, we have, isn't complete here, but
well,
if you feel we're good with it. I'm
you've
good
got this
with it.
one too, which is a copy of
That's a
what
copy
he's
of
got
what
here.
I drew.
So, the one site map is before he drew all the stuff
there you
on
go.
it.
It's the next page. That's everything I drew up.
And it's relatively close to scale, or no? You might wanna.
To scale as far as location, yes. Yeah, as far as like
Actual scale? No.
I drew my trees.
Okay, yeah,
With circles, I don't know. Yeah,
No,
I
I'm not
didn't-
looking for trees
yeah.
on that. There wasn't really many.
But yes, like the barn is approximately correct, and yeah.
So you're suggesting we let him go ahead and do the work?
I'm
With-
suggesting that he has if we kind of lay out all of the conditions that we wanna go forward, so once he comes back, he can get his 3-phase plan approved, or all in one without, cause I'm the one who suggested that he put down everything that he would like to do, so that way we can put it all on one permit and kind of do the remediation work and cleanly and get everything out of there.
So does anyone have any conditions they'd like to add?
Do you think it would be difficult to sort of mark this up?
So
If you-
it is marked up on the other page.
There's a photocopy? It's
Yeah.
right there.
Well, yeah. Oh, this is the same map?
Yeah, it's the same map I just drew on it. So these are trees.
Yep.
That's just my proposed, just grass. That's where the proposed barn would go.
Yep. Where was the coop?
Well, the chicken coop, so there used to be a barn here,
Yeah.
chicken coop here, and there is an existing shed here. I wanna take this out and I wanna
Yep.
put a shed over here, where it's flat.
Yep, okay.
And then footing drains run around the house, into the wetlands. This is where my deck is, my house is here. That's a barn, future barn.
Anyone want to take a stab at the motion?
We want to continue this to the next meeting. Okay,
Are we continuing it, or are we just putting conditions on it? So that he can get started with work?
We'd have to continue it, cause it's still technically new business. You can't approve the application just
Okay.
yet. It has to be with us for 14 days, and just because less than 24 hours between the last meeting.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Yeah.
you were close.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, at least it's in.
It is in, so.
That was what I was trying to do, yeah.
okay, I'll make the motion. This is 6A W-24-51 3 Cross Road, Paul Scalzo. Application for footing drains, removal of barn, chicken coop, debris, trash, brush, installation of 10 by 14 shed on gravel base, demolition, installation of deck on house, construction of 20 by 40 barn, seed and hay, for our next regularly scheduled meeting, where we will,
September 9th.
September 9th, and we will present the language to be used in the application.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Okay,
So, Mr. Chair, one thing, actually, we had continued the 84 Laurel Hill Road because the applicant wasn't in. I told you I was surprised by that. He has made an appearance.
okay, so we'll jump back to 5 instead of 7 and
If you could jump
84.
to five.
Number 5, 84 Laurel Hill Road.
Thank you.
Okay, so I got submitted the permit,
So I still don't have an application. That's where we stand with you. I got your email, but you're missing one step.
what is it?
The permit to be submitted through the portal.
Oh, the
So
other
it's,
one too?
I think you want to give your name and address.
Oh,
I think he gave it to
He did.
Cassandra, no?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Do you have his name?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Sorry.
not wrong. So yeah, I did, I mean, for some reason I sent you the,
I saw what you sent me. You're still missing one step of submitting. Unfortunately, people struggle with the online permitting system, often. We're working on that too from our technological end, but we're close. You have to submit it like you submitted the building permit application.
oh, okay, so which is this one right here, no. Cause the other one that I sent you, and this is the,
That's the one I want, yes.
this is it.
Yes, so take the other document, upload it to that, and then we should be good.
So it's probably a screenshot and then.
It
okay.
will actually have sent the seamless docs to you via email.
Yeah,
So that's the first one, so you should have that one that would be signed off. If not, we can do it in hand and we can upload it that way. That might be the easier way to do it. Do you have a hand-on application?
I have
Is it
that.
in-
What I did is, see, over there, I just have to sign it right here and then go.
So I would sign it, we'll scan this in, and then upload it to that for your application.
Okay,
Okay?
alright, I will do
That
that.
might be the easier way. With the site plan.
Okay,
This is a continuance, right?
This is the one, this is 84 that we were waiting for the application. We've been waiting, but we're just having some technical difficulties. I think we're fine as soon as we get the application and maybe we can go forward at the next meeting. But if you have a problem, it might be easier to come into the office at this point.
yeah, no, I've been trying, like, right now it's just literally harder for me to, I work all the way down to New Canaan, I just came from Greenwich, and it was all flagged up on the traffic, so it's kinda challenging for me.
North-south is a little difficult right
It
now.
is,
Yeah.
it is. So, I mean, so now I just have to upload all this right here into the portal,
Yes.
and then we can go from there.
And then we can go forward, because until I get that, I don't have an application from you, but I know you're trying to submit one. So,
Okay,
we're getting closer.
alright,
And if I'm not, he's gotta do a bond on the trees, right? That he's
Right.
putting in the
Yeah.
plant, okay.
So all the things that we discussed, which have the planting, the bond, the
Yeah.
estimate, which
Yeah,
I think
I
you have
have-
the printout estimate.
yeah, I have the estimate,
would
I
take-
have how far it will, go
Yeah.
the trees,
Mhm.
between 20 and 30 feet, so as you suggested.
Right.
To stagger.
Do a
the-
stagger.
Yes, so I mean, it just,
It's just a matter of submitting the paperwork
Okay.
at this point.
alright.
All right, thank you, we'll continue this till next meeting,
Which one will be?
pending paperwork.
It's September 9th is the next meeting,
Yes.
like,
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so make a motion to continue 84 Laurel Hill to September 9th.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Now we'll get to enforcement 7, 55 High Ridge.
is there someone here for 55 High Ridge? No? Yes? Okay. Let me just double check that one. You know what? I suggest that we actually continue this. I didn't realize I have a typo in my letter that I asked them to appear. I asked them to appear on Monday, August 28th. So
Gotta do it.
I have to do over.
Okay.
So I suggest that we continue this to the next meeting. Overall, this was a violation that was sent because they were operating, there was an excavation of a hole within a regulated area, within 75 feet of wetland soil types. But I do suggest that, my apologies.
Maybe you can send him an email so he doesn't show up here on
Absolutely, I will try to
Wednesday.
contact them and let them know that that was a typo on my behalf.
All right, make motion to
Continue.
continue 3-B-755 High Ridge Road till September 9th meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, 4-0. Now, 4A for the public hearing, do we have to do anything on that, or is there someone here for that tonight? For 854 Federal Road?
I don't believe we have anyone here at the moment. You already scheduled the public hearing
Correct.
for so there is nothing that we need to do. We kept it on the agenda just as a placeholder. But the
That's what I
public
figured, I
hearing
was
is
just
set.
double checking.
Yep.
Do you have any kind of an update on this or not?
I do not at the moment. I know that they are preparing for a presentation at the day of the public hearing. I do know I have to secure a third-party review. I haven't been able to so far, but I'm confident that I will be able to before the before the public hearing opens.
As I catch everything back here with my feet. Okay, so on to old business?
Wait, make
Okay.
a motion to continue public hearing?
Well, we don't even need a motion because it's already set, so, because the public hearing is set.
Okay.
Yeah, we set the public hearing last meeting. So, as was stated, it's a placeholder. Old business 5A, 119A Obtuse Road. Application for construction of new deck.
File.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anthony Bambino, 119 Obtuse Hill Road. So last time I was here, I was applying for a deck on the back of my house, and you guys suggested I hire a soil scientist. So I dug deep in my pocket and hired a soil scientist. He spec'd out the property with a drawing of where the wetlands were, and do you guys have a copy of this? I can give it to you.
Should have it. It's attached to the back of the soil report in your packet.
Pretty much where it says, the site description and discussion is kind of his conclusion.
Just reading that.
And I proposed deck didn't land in the wetlands. And if you look at the map that he staked out, and as I said, under site description and discussion, there's a little paragraph there, and probably the last two sentences is kind of a summary of his,
So the deck was 6 feet wide?
16 feet.
Oh, 16 by, what was the dimensions?
54.
54.
I was gonna say 45, off memory.
can you translate this?
Sure.
Thank you.
This is a previously disturbed grass lawn area. What seems like what happened here is that there was once a functional wetland there. That wetland is not functional anymore. They have done some filling. They did find the presence of wetland soils, but this wetland scientist is pretty much saying biologically it's a lawn.
It's a what?
So what?
It's a lawn.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay,
it's not a functional wetland anymore.
Okay.
Was there presence of wetland soils? Yes, there was. If you dug deep, I don't believe it's this gentleman, or even probably before the house was built, they did some fill.
Okay.
They built it, and now this is already disturbed, so it's
Okay.
not like he's proposing anything
Okay.
future,
All right.
disturbance of the
so you're
wetlands.
okay with
I would be
the
fine with
deck?
that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
I
good.
would do
probably
that.
filled years ago before they even put the
I
house
guess
in,
it was
because
a
it
wise
didn't come up when the
investment.
house was
You know what, I
built.
went home, I was like, let me just do it. Clear, it kinda makes things, I thought black and white.
Wet and dry.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'm okay with this.
Well, I'm okay with
I'm okay with
doing
this
this.
too. Sure.
Is everybody else?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we approve it now?
You can.
Yeah,
Okay, wanna,
I just have one question. How far is the pond? I don't see is the pond on your property?
No,
So it's back here somewhere?
that's right.
Okay. That's it for me.
okay, so I make a motion on 5A, 119 Obtuse Hill Road.
you wanna give the number?
Oh, yes, thank you.
No, that's okay.
W-24-40, 119 Obtuse Hill Road. The application for construction of a new 54 by 16 deck. Make a motion to approve it in light of the soil sample report, soil scientist report.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, guys.
Good investment.
Yeah, you gotta do the right thing. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with it.
No problem. Take care. I'll still the vinyl back and trade you out if you'd like.
Perfect.
We're up to 2.
We're up to 2 High Ridge, yes.
Is Mr. Sullivan here to present for that?
Tom Sullivan, 2 High Ridge Road. So last time I was here, I wanted to put a shed at the end of my, just on
Thank
the
you.
other side of the end of my driveway, which unbeknownst to me, and the diagrams that I had, was actually in a wetland. So, I submitted, do they have copies of the new?
We do.
So we're just gonna put it in the middle of the yard. It's 30 feet off the, 34 feet off the line, and it's, I don't know, 50 feet from the wetland.
So pretty much,
Purple on my map, on most of my drawings.
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah, so we're
proposed,
just gonna put it in the yard.
Gonna put it,
Yeah,
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 where
I
it's
wanted
kinda-
it here,
right.
but we can't do it there because it's wetlands.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna put it in the middle of the yard.
Probably behind the house in the
Yep.
upland review.
correct.
Oh, that seems pretty simple.
Yes.
This is your shed you got from BJ's, right?
Yeah, plastic. So that's,
Okay.
I don't see any problem with that.
Nope.
I
I have
wanna,
no problem with it if we wanna go ahead and stamp just the approved plan.
Yeah.
For when he moves the shed, so we know which one it's accepted of.
okay, so just stamp the one in the folder?
There should be one.
This one right here?
It's the one with the outside of the purple.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Shed
that would
mark.
be the approved plan.
okay,
That way we just indicate the difference between the original submitted.
all right. Now, I'm still confused as whether I need another permit now?
Nope.
Oh, I don't.
No, this would be finalizing your wetlands permit.
Oh, and that's it.
And well, it's under 200 square feet?
Yeah, it's 8 by 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm like, then, yes, that would be and except for a zoning permit, but that's separate. Did you already submit for that? Okay, that's not a commission, that's an administrative.
Okay, do I go through you to do that, or?
You actually go through the zoning enforcement officer, but I'd be happy to help you. It's easier process.
If he had put the shed where he is putting it now, would he have had to apply with us?
Yes.
He still would
He
have.
would have had to apply, but not with you. He probably would have just gone through me.
Okay.
So anything within the upland review area that doesn't have a significant impact to the the wetlands, the commission has authorized me to approve.
Okay, keep that in mind for
We
the
knew
future.
then what we know now. That's okay. All right.
Does the
But I-
signature too, or just stamp?
If you could just sign the stamp, that would be great, just so I know that that's the approved plan set.
all right. So should I call you tomorrow and?
You can call me
walk
tomorrow for
through?
the zoning application, that's fine, I'd be happy to.
So it's over,
So for
the
wetlands
wetlands end of
purpose-
it is over.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
it's
Did we do a vote?
Not yet.
Okay.
We haven't made the motion yet.
As soon as we do the vote, the wetlands portion is over.
Okay, and then I'll give you a call tomorrow.
And you can give me a call tomorrow, I'd be happy to help you.
Okay, make a motion on W-24-46, 2 High Ridge Road, Thomas Sullivan, for construction. No?
I know, it says deck. It says
Okay, yeah, that's what
construction
just
of
threw
deck.
me.
Yeah, no, no.
Construction
No,
of
I don't
a
know why it says that.
shed.
Somebody had fun writing the agenda, that's all.
I noticed it last time.
So it's a construction of the shed.
Construction of shed per the new updated plan for location.
What's the date of that plan?
Date of this plan is
Done over.
8/14/24.
Okay. I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Good luck.
Nice, easy move.
It is 42, I'm lying too.
Okay, 5C, W-24-48, 42 Lakeshore Drive.
Good evening.
North
Michelle
Lake Shore.
Morris McCauley with Archel Engineering Group.
I'm gonna tell Sharon you spoiled me with this.
At the last meeting, we had talked about adding a couple of things to the plan. One of them being the silt fence. And I totally missed the silt fence was on the plan, it just wasn't labeled as well, so the silt fence is actually down here. I labeled it better so we could see it. I didn't put it all the way up because the existing septic is in there and I don't want them to stick the stakes through the existing septic, so it's just below the existing septic. So that was one thing she asked for, or that you asked for. It, noted that the soil stockpile is a temporary soil stockpile, so I noted it as proposed temporary soil stockpile ringed with silt fence. And then I added the construction sequence to the plan, and in the construction sequence, I add that the contractors to gain access to the rear of the house in the northern property line with a large size excavator. And I also added in here that the, temporary soil stockpile should be removed. Contractor remove any and all excess material that is, that was temporarily stockpiled on site upon completion of construction. The excess material should be removed from the site and disposed of properly off-site. So those were the couple of things I added to the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see it this way.
How wide is that access on the north side?
That is approximately, probably about 15 feet. It is 15.7 feet. So this was replacing, putting new septic tank in, doing the deck, a tiny little portion of the addition, and we're also doing the roof drain, extending the roof drain down.
And you added in all the steps that were,
Yep, she and I.
were asked for last time.
Yep, the silt fence, just call it out as a temporary soil stockpile, adding the large excavator in the notes, and then adding in here that the soil stockpile is temporarily and all that material will be removed from the site.
Is the dock new on the map?
So, that was on the map, so anything below the 440 elevation line is owned, that property is owned by First Light.
Yep.
And they have the purview to review that.
Yep.
The wetlands commission does not review that stuff.
Yep, but it's new on the map though, right?
Yeah, that would be, they have an existing dock, they're looking to do a new dock and do new walls and, bulkheads.
Are you okay with everything?
I was fine with everything,
Yeah.
I think she covered all the.
I think she covered everything that was asked for in the last meeting.
Good,
The only
good.
thing I ask if we do approve the application, if we could just use the revision date and the approved plan save.
Make sure I got the
I
same.
should have the right one.
Yes,
I had to
to
I had
skip
to
it.
flip out the,
What do we got?
22.
822, yes, 24, revised per health department comments.
Okay.
That's
So-
just, I just wanted to make sure we stamped the right plan in as approved.
Yeah, 'cause
That's why I was,
I had delivered plans, and then the health department called with some comments, so I wanted the plans to match the health department.
Absolutely,
So
I appreciate
came
it.
in and swapped them out again, so I didn't wanna confuse you guys.
Can we
Doing all
approve it
that the
tonight?
old-fashioned way?
can approve
A drafting
this
board and have
tonight.
to redraw the whole thing?
I was being efficient, and then
You were being too efficient, Michelle.
it's 'cause I got selected to be on a jury, so I had to get everything
Oh.
done before I went up to do my jury thing, and when I came back, Paul called with comments.
Did you get picked?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, you got picked?
I got picked, and
I
I
had
sit
that.
on a jury for a 3-day trial.
Yeah, I had that about 9-10 months ago. I wasn't picked though, fortunately.
No, I did it.
I was when I went last time.
Mm.
I had to go, 'cause I live in New Milford, so I had to go up to Torrington to listen for this.
Ah.
Torrington?
It's quieter up there, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a very nice courthouse, but it was 3 days.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I,
It is what
I
it
think
is.
we can approve it
I-
according to Laura.
I would say, make a motion to approve W-24-48 North Lakeshore Drive with the with the revision date of 8/22/24, with all the usual stipulations.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries for nothing, or unanimous, whichever way you prefer.
You're good.
Thank
Good
you.
luck with it.
Thank you. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank you, you
Thank you.
too.
At least you won't be called again for 2 years, I believe.
2 years.
If you're lucky.
But they now have your name in the file, so.
They had it before.
You're welcome, Michelle.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Here again.
Okay.
I'm just being a nosy neighbor.
Page it out. Next is
Oh,
your one
you are
High
so
Ridge
efficient,
Road.
thank you. Okay. Next, W-24-47, 1 High Ridge Road. Application for replacement of drainage system.
Hi everyone, Sandra De La Vega, One High Ridge Road.
I'm Joshua Kulba, for hired contractor, Kulba Construction.
So this is, I have pictures of my flood at the house.
Oh, thank you.
So this is what I'm facing,
Oh, that's it?
and thank you. You're welcome. So, I'm asking for approval to my permit. I wanna correct this issue. I know that the prior owner created this hot mess, and now I'm dealing with this. So I wanna resolve this issue for me, cause I cannot, every time that rains, now my house gets a foot of water. Here's my backyard. You wanna see the pictures?
When was this taken, these pictures?
This-
Oh, August 18th.
Yeah, the last storm.
What's this, concrete wall?
This is, the water's coming from the neighbors, it's coming from Beech Tree. I have pictures of the, case at the corner of the house that is not supporting the amount of water that we are getting.
Now, this is all due to Merwin Brook. I don't know if, I'm sure you guys are aware of that.
Is that Sunday, a week ago Sunday?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So the current owner actually decided to pipe Merwin Brook across her yard with a 12-inch pipe and an 18-inch pipe. And those pipes are undersized, and they're not handling the amount of water, stormwater that's coming through, especially the storms that we have nowadays.
So
And in
you-
doing so, it's flooding her house, like, with more than a
So
foot
you
of
wanna,
water.
you wanna increase the diameter of the pipes? Is that what
So
you-
that was our first, thought, was to increase the diameter of the pipe to a 36-inch pipe. And then we had Sunday storm, and I quickly realized that no 36-inch pipe is gonna handle that amount of water. So I had spoke with my engineer, Alan Shepard, and he suggested, along with my thought, he agreed with me that it would be better to restore Morgan Brook back to its original condition. So our plan now is to restore the brook back to where it used to run, and we would stabilize the brook with fieldstone and small boulders instead of using crushed riprap for aesthetics and obviously for wildlife.
You have to go in there with equipment into the brook, which is right in the wetlands.
It's within the wetlands, yes,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. So the brook was taken away. It's about 275 feet to 300 feet of brook that was
Washed away.
it
put
was
in-
done without a permit, and the pipe they used was undersized.
So they
When
took the
was
brook
this
and
done?
piped
Do
it.
you?
Oh,
This
any
was
idea?
done
I see, I
before
see,
she
yeah.
owned the property,
Okay.
so she inherited this
But,
problem.
yeah, there is also, I believe, a catching base from the road beach tree that comes
Yeah.
to my,
This
that is
shows-
linked to my property.
If you look, you can see exactly where it is here. So all that water is coming from here, okay? And then this neighbor has a head wall here, and he piped it down to a catch basin here. And then they have a small swale that goes behind the house here to this catch basin. This catch basin has a 12-inch pipe. This one has an 18-inch pipe. And they cannot handle the water. So this is what it shows on the brook, right? But what we're proposing is to take the brook from here, right, and go this way with it, and then bring it down into here.
How long do you think that it would take for you to do that?
We could have that brook done, so I wanna do it in sections, so I wanna dig 25 feet and then stone it, you know, and start on High Ridge Road, like that part, work my way up, you know? And then do 25 feet and then stone it. Stay in, you know, 5 to 7 days, you know?
So the brook is gonna be really disturbed quite severely while you're doing this,
Well,
obviously.
there's no brook there at all
Oh,
right now,
oh,
actually,
okay.
so it's
So,
running through a pipe.
Yeah, across the street, right, from his yard.
Yes.
That's Tom's yard, yep.
Yeah.
So there's a ravine where there used to be water maybe, and
Which
it
Tom
ends,
says works,
and
yes.
it's perpendicular to High Ridge Road.
Yes.
And what happens at High Ridge Road? Is it gonna go underneath?
It goes underneath through a 36-inch pipe,
The 36-inch pipe
Yeah,
underneath?
but
which
this
was
is
like
so
right there.
filled
But so her house is about 2 feet higher
that
than
you
the
can
road.
probably see the 36
So if we
inches.
if we restored this brook, then the water would go down to that pipe, which is obviously a town, you know, it's a town drainage, you know, pipe. But it would never flood her house again. If we had, let's say we had 10 inches of rain, it would go over the road and then into Tom's floodplain on the other side. And then down the way it goes, you know, so, the brook on Tom's side
Oh, so it flows,
seems to be working pretty well.
flows north?
Right.
Well, I mean, it's amazing, you know, it's amazing, it goes from, you saw my side, but I mean, when
Yes.
it's normal, like today, maybe it's 6 inches high,
Yeah.
and when we get a storm like last Sunday, which I'm told,
It was in
Yeah.
red,
you said 1955,
1950.
Yeah.
maybe worse, maybe not, it's a coin toss, but it goes from 6 inches to like 3 or 4 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this is
as you
36
said,
inches
actually,
fully
is that a
covered.
36
You
inch
can
pipe
barely
coming
see
through the road?
It's a
the pipe.
36-inch pipe that comes through the road.
Because I looked at that
36
that
inch pipe.
Sunday
Yeah.
in the afternoon, and I think that was only like half, you know, I think only, it was like half full.
It was about 8 inches to the top
Oh,
of the pipe.
okay.
That we have a picture
There's
with.
kind of shrubbery there, but
It's almost like the town should upgrade that pipe as well in the future, you know? That's obviously a public works, you know, but yeah, so right now what it's doing is it's creating a hazardous and safety issue in her house, and, this house is immaculate, it's gorgeous inside, and they literally had to open a sliding glass door to let the water run through.
So
And
this,
open up the front door and the water was just running through.
so this brook is supposed to flow north?
What's that?
The brook is supposed to flow north?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Yep.
And this is taken from her side, from the south side of High Ridge?
This is actually, this is the culvert pipe that crosses High Ridge Road.
But this is on her side?
This
Yes,
is
Not
on
on
her
the
side,
side
yes.
of
on
one,
my
okay.
side.
Yes, this is
But
on
it
her
looks just
side.
like this on the other side?
But he has like a lawn,
and
Yeah.
then it's just a channel that goes through, and it goes
Yeah.
down through 3 or 4 different neighbors' yards, and it actually, Merwin Brook goes all the way to Route 133. And there are neighbors that are south of her that are experiencing flooding too. They just haven't addressed it with you guys yet, you know, so this is affecting quite a few neighbors, you know. So,
Goes down to.
Now,
This
what size rocks,
beautiful farm.
this is pretty intense. I mean, you're gonna have to use some pretty decent sized
yeah,
rock.
like, so the small boulders would be like this big, and then it'll be like fieldstone like this, you know?
Between them or on the bottom or what?
Well, use it on the bottom and then up the embankments.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've done it in the past quite a bit, and it works really well. And it gives it a natural look, and, you know, it'll look just like a natural brook like it used to look, you know? And,
So wait, now what happens after you finish construction of the original water course? Where does it go at that point? Does it affect anybody else?
Well, it will go across through the 36-inch culvert pipe into Tom's yard, into his, that's the brook. The brook runs through the back of his yard, and then down into there's probably 50 houses it runs through.
So this shows.
So other people are gonna be impacted.
Not
By
any more
this.
than they are now, because we're not increasing the flow of the water, because all the water goes that way anyways. We're just directing the water away from the back of her house, so it doesn't flood her house anymore.
In essence, you're taking out the piping and putting an actual brook back, if I'm
Yes.
understanding it right.
Yes.
So this shows the brook here. Where's the current pipe that you're taking out?
The current
'Cause you
pipe,
were saying
well, this is
something
the
about
neighbor's
going over
yard here.
here.
The neighbor's yard starts right here.
Oh, okay.
So this pipe right here, we would, you know, restore the brook this way, and then this pipe would actually run into the brook. We would remove this catch basin here, but we might as well leave these catch basins and this smaller pipe going this way, because it does accept water, and it does help during rainstorms.
But
So,
wait, the pipe that you're talking about, does that go into a neighbor's
she's
property?
downhill from the neighbor. So it comes from the neighbor's property and goes into her yard. And this was all installed pretty much illegally without a permit.
All the work you're gonna do is gonna be on her property?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Well, yeah, no,
turning it
he
into a brook
can't do
from
anything
this point
beyond
here.
that.
What's that?
You're turning it into a brook from this point here, from the property line.
Yes, it's gonna go like this and then like that.
Okay, now what's this over here? That's from,
So this right here, okay, all the water comes like from this way, okay?
okay.
So the dirt that we take out of here, from the brook, I wanna use to build a berm starting here, okay? And that way this water hits this,
And
and it
directs it
can't
into
flood
the
her house
brook?
on this side. Cause her septic is over here, you got her well here, and then her
So, well,
septic is.
there, oh, that's the neighbor's well, okay.
Yeah, so
I saw the
we're
Walmart
gonna
thing.
grab all the water from this way, cause this is Route 25 here, West Skinner Road.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna grab all the water from here and bring it down this way, and get it away from flooding her house, is our plan.
Can that berm get washed away? You said you're gonna create a little berm there?
Yeah, no, it won't be washed away, no, it won't be washed away. This is all actually very, level. There's not a down gradient at all. So we're just gonna the water's just gonna flow into it and go down that way. So, and I'll use stone on that too, and kinda face it.
Do you have a procedure written out, how you're gonna do this? Is it in there?
So this plan, we wrote a paragraph as to our intent and what we wanted to do. I can give you guys a procedure.
Yeah, procedure.
For the next meeting.
Yeah,
because
I think that would be appropriate.
this won't be approved tonight, right?
That's
Exactly.
correct.
Oh,
It's new business.
you know what is sad about all of this? Your house definitely should be protected. I'm absolutely for it. I feel like this is gonna cause other problems on the street. However, we don't have applications from anybody else. But I don't feel like this is a,
If you wanna look at it one way, in some ways it can almost be considered a little bit of a wetlands recreation.
Mhm.
Because you're taking something that's in a pipe right now and you're exposing it and recreating. I would like a little bit more information on like the dimensions of what we're building.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
Just,
there's no concern about it beyond.
well, once I have a little bit more information, I would like to see if the town engineer would weigh in on it.
Yeah, no, good, good,
So-
because, no, I understand exactly where she's coming from, and I absolutely agree. It's not acceptable to have water like that in
No,
your
I can't
house.
sleep.
But it's
But
a
I,
good
but I feel
point.
like this is gonna also cause some other problems in town,
They're not
perhaps.
redirecting the water to another place, it's going to the same place it's been going.
Yes.
They're just making it
He's
Okay,
just,
go on.
surface
a property.
body of water, surface
just afraid
wetlands
there's gonna
instead
be
of piped.
more water at once.
Because, like, the original plan was to have the 36 to upgrade this 12 with 12 inches and 18 inches that is not,
And then Sunday
up yet.
happened.
Yeah, it's been in Sunday, but
Right, yeah.
this
Makes
happened
sense.
multiple times. Every time that rains 1 inch, I'm outside, worried. I can sleep. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning could be, and I'm outside just, that's, yeah, it's horrible.
That is
especially-
not acceptable,
Yes.
as I understand.
So, the original option, like he said, was the 36 inches. So I wanna know what options do I have. I wanna check with you guys, because I know prior owner, he was a disaster, he just created a hot mess for me. So now, now what I wanna know, I wanna know my options, if 36 inches is, to upgrade the 12 and 18, 30 to 36 inches, if that would be acceptable, or the other option of the brook. It's not, I'm not doing anything extra, the water is going, right now, the 12 and 18, it's not sufficient for the amount of water that is going. And it's going to the 36, and the 36 is filling, it's filling, to the top.
Filling the pipe up, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Would
Yeah, I
the
would suggest
town
you,
engineer be able to
No.
do an impact for the whole?
Not for
They put a-
everything, what he will do is whether or not it will impact the streets, unfortunately. So as I told you when I went out there, it is your responsibility to get an expert to be able to propose to the commission on whether or not, a plan that you believe is gonna work.
Yep.
The commission cannot give you, give you that kind of feedback. They can tell you whether or not it's an approved
Right,
plan.
right.
Whether based off of, something
I-
they've
I-
seen
I
before,
would-
but they're not a,
Put a procedure.
yes.
Write down a procedure, how you're gonna do, the material you're gonna use,
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff, and present it to us.
okay.
So,
I've been,
and then-
I've been doing drainage and excavation for more than 25 years.
What'd you
I'm
do,
third
start when you were
generation.
5?
Huh?
You started when you were 5?
I started when I was 18, I'm 43, so.
I'm only kidding you.
You may be getting some other work on the street then.
I've already had a few people call me, yeah, there's a major problem there, so.
Start when they were 5.
There's an issue in that
And,
area,
Back
certainly,
did start when
there's
they
an
were
issue
5.
in that area.
I got a
And
question
the
for you.
town engineer will
7-year-olds
weigh
try
on if
some
it's gonna impact the town and
excavators.
it's
What
gonna
are
be
these-
the fact
Oh, is
that
that right?
it's
Yeah.
next to
Three
the
structures
boundary
here.
system, But
So
he can't give
this is
her,
the neighbor's
because
house,
that's a private
It's
Okay.
not even the cheap
Is there
ones that
driveway
you
over
have,
here?
it's the cheap,
Right. And
the
plus
fire
it's
So this
department.
looks like-
lot, and that's
West
it.
side,
It isn't
yeah,
anybody
so
else's.
West
I
Sunday.
use.
It's a
Since I'm
tough
driving an hour
situation.
away,
Well, if you
I
look,
had to
this
go
is
to
an
my
old
parents
road
to
that went
get to
back.
the house. I had to call my
Actually
friend
across the
who
street.
poor
lived to
Cassandra
the
Berry
house.
and our
So
recording
this-
secretary is not gonna be able to keep track of what's
And then
going
this
on with
is
all
the
these
garage.
conversations, so
Okay,
can we
that's the garage.
close the side
And what's
conversation?
this over here? Another neighbor's house?
That's another
Mr. Chair, I
neighbor's house,
suggest
yeah.
you-
Okay.
Yeah, or that's actually a carport that he has.
Can we
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
keep the conversation centralized?
Yep.
So that the
Thank
recording
you.
secretary can keep it all, keep track of it all?
I was just wondering, he was just pointing out what the structures were on the map. So this brook doesn't run near the roads, it goes underneath High Ridge Road, and then it meanders sort of parallel to 25 heading north, right, towards the center of town, towards St. Rose's School.
So it goes down 133,
Yeah,
yeah, right to 133.
No, St. Rose's. St. Joseph's. St. Rose's in
I'm,
Newtown.
I'm not Catholic, I don't know.
Okay.
So, and this is all, my, steps of doing this will all be coordinated with my engineer, Alan Shepherd, and he would be on site to.
Could you put that down? Could he
Yeah, we would
review
need a
it?
sequence of,
Sure.
Can I have him review it, maybe sign off on it?
Yeah, he will.
Can we ask him to do that?
And he said he would approve it at the end too,
Okay,
yep,
all right.
all right,
That sounds all
We'll
right.
have that as a condition.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Sam
All right,
said-
I'm fine with that.
yeah, okay.
Alright.
How long did it take for some of this to drain out?
Which one is that?
But just in general, so on last Saturday, the rain, or whenever it
Yeah,
was.
it took at least couple hours. I called the fire department. It's especially for inside the house. I had 18 inches in the entire house.
So, oh, just a few, by the next day it was out of your house though?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had about 10 people to help me in the house. Even the fire department was there, 4 or 5 guys, and I have a report from the fire department.
All right, I'm fine if you, get your engineer together.
Yep.
Have him put a proposal together.
Okay.
Sign off on it, make the presentation.
Yep.
With the sequence.
Okay.
And then we'll take a look at it.
And just write down everything you plan on
Right,
doing.
you write down everything you plan on
First,
doing,
you
sure.
know.
I mean, obviously,
Work.
you need help.
Start to
Stones.
finish,
You
yeah,
gotta do
the
something.
whole thing, yeah.
But,
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right, thank
I
you.
think we're just gonna continue this, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yep.
So we'll make a motion to continue W 24-47, 1 High Ridge Road to the next meeting, September 9th.
Second it.
All in favor?
I,
Motion passed unanimously.
September
So-
2nd or 9?
September 9th?
September
Yes.
2nd is Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
Office is
September
closed
9th.
September 9th.
Okay.
So I know it threw
No.
me too.
Yeah, wow.
I get to stay
Something flew
off.
right by.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's still
Life
summer.
flies by. Life flies.
Right, to the
Remember when you were
22nd?
5 years old?
Huh?
Remember when you were 5 years old?
Cool back.
I do.
That was 25 years ago. No,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, I know.
That's good, Cheryl. I'll take you out for your last nap.
Huh?
I mean,
Thank you.
My oldest daughter is 22. My other daughter is
you.
19 and Sacred
Thank
Heart.
you.
Can you give her your contact
I just
data?
missed your name.
Of course, yes. Joshua Coolbeth, COOLEETH, and it's Coolbeth Construction.
From the.
Coolbeth Construction?
Yep.
Did you have relatives in the Milford
Yeah, yeah.
that were in the construction industry?
What's that?
That were in the construction
Oh,
industry?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
One of them may have did some work for me years back.
Yeah, my uncle Kim.
Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, that's your
my
uncle?
Tracy,
Is
and
that
my
right?
father
That's what
Terry.
I just handed.
I went to school with
I
Erin.
snuck it out
Oh,
last
Erin's my
time.
sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, she's married to Matt Smith. You know him?
No.
Yeah, and
I,
she,
I saw her in Kenwood Valley Country Club. She was
yeah,
working
she's
in
been
there.
there forever with Pete.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun, man. She does good, and yeah, she enjoys life, you know. So yeah, and I did a septic for Pete last year at his house in Utah. Oh my God. It was,
Okay.
did it without a shepherd and piped across.
Moving on to,
It was a tough one, you know. So.
I was in the same class as Marika.
yeah, it's,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Marika married Kim.
Yeah.
You got everything?
6B.
yes, 6B, new business, W 24-54,
See you next time.
5 White Pine Drive.
All right, have a
Application
good
for
evening.
installation of new
Take care now.
lawn, take it easy. To include soil, seed, and straw.
Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
To move portable shed 50 feet on processed stone platform.
5 White Pine.
Thank you.
John Shelton. Yes.
5 White Pine.
Fine,
How you doing?
Fine, good, good. Save the best for last.
Pine Drive.
We're putting in a lawn here. Apparently, some of it may be on.
What's there now?
There's pictures. It's just, it's nothing.
So a little background on this situation is we received a complaint in the office that there was work happening in the wetland soils. So ultimately, I did go out there and inspect. It did appear that there was some tree work that had occurred in wetlands in the purposes of creating lawn. I did even get a chance to send a violation out after a telephone, actually, I think you called the office before I even sent anything.
Yeah,
I think you contacted me proactively when there was concerns about a possible violation, so there's been no actual documentation of a violation. I suggested that an application be submitted for the work that we're proposing to be done. The second we had a conversation, the work stopped. And now he's coming in with the application for what we can actually approve on this site. I did send an aerial, which is in the file only. I'm sorry it didn't make your packets. It's the first 3, which is the aerial of the property over the span of several years. It seems like there has been some tree work that has been done in the front yard and in the backyard. I know you're only
That I don't
proposing,
know.
yes, I
Yeah.
know you're only proposing the front yard, the work in the front yard. When I went out there, The back,
Yeah,
you're proposing the back area? I thought you were proposing the side.
no, the back area.
Okay.
The front area is, that's wet.
That's the wetlands. Mhm.
Yeah, that's,
So-
no, we're not doing anything in the front.
Okay.
It's all in the back where that shed was, or is.
I think it's on your drawing. I'm sorry, I've looked at a few plans over the span of the last time. Might be confusing front and backyards.
Yeah, so it's right where that shed is.
Mm-hmm.
Right behind the shed is actually where the lawn is. If there was any tree work done in the past, I had nothing to do with that. We went down, just clean this, half of this area up right here. And that's what it looks like right there. These are the pictures that I
Yep.
sent you?
The pictures that you sent me are in there in
Okay.
addition to the additional just overhead pictures because of the time lapse. Just to have an idea on how the site has changed. They're located on our GIS.
That shed, is that in wetlands or upland
The shed
review?
was and it's in the purple, it was in the wetlands.
Okay.
Which is why he's coming before you instead of any kind of agent approval.
Gotcha.
Anything that's in the wetlands or would have a substantial impact, I bring before the commission.
So part of his house is in the
Correct.
wetlands also. So it was obviously built before there were rules and regulations on
White pine,
wetlands.
probably, yeah.
I don't have the exact date on when I know the house has been there for a period of time. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't look.
I don't know
Yeah,
either.
neither do I, so, but the concern was over the tree removal and the lawn installations, so we're just kind of trying to make sure what the scope of the work that the commission wants to approve, because technically we do have it as wetland soils. Although it might be very similar, this is based off of the wetlands map, which is, as we know.
Similar to the other application.
Correct, where it could be functioning or not. I'm not a soil scientist, I
Mhm.
can't really speak to whether or not it's a functioning wetland or not.
So do we wanna
It
recommend
was
the
funny,
soil
the
scientist?
pictures that I saw, and this is similar to the other application, it didn't particularly look like wetlands. The same thing as the last one?
That is
Over,
for the commission to determine on whether or not you think it's appropriate. A lot of the work has
Over
been.
here was wet after that storm on that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was.
Well, everything was wet.
But that's where it was it's definitely wetlands. There's a stone wall here. So we would just go up to the stone wall. The neighbor's house is right here. And his grass abuts this property. So all we were gonna do is take grass from here to here. They already have grass here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how many square feet would you guess? Ballpark.
30 by 80,
It's 2,400,
yeah.
240.
So what do you wanna do, move the
Right.
shed and move the gazebo, is that?
We were just gonna pour, not just like a processed stone, it's one of those portable sheds from like the barnyard,
Yeah.
and move the shed from point A, where the gazebo's gonna be, to point B.
So the shed is currently where the gazebo's gonna be?
Correct.
Shed is
Just gonna
where?
move it over
Shed.
30 feet, 35 feet.
Well, it looks like you're moving the shed in wetlands area.
Yeah,
And
more
it
into
looks
the
like you're
wetlands.
moving the gazebo into wetlands area, also
No, no,
partially
no,
wetlands.
Where the gazebo is where the shed exists.
Currently is. Now, you had
So
mentioned that
we're,
trees were removed too?
So there has been tree work done on the property. I don't know the extent of the tree work or in the time frame associated with the trees. That's why I did include the time lapse that was there to give a
Mhm.
rough idea. But again, this gentleman is coming in for an application to install yard. It has lawn. It kind of coincides with a complaint so I started with, since
The
he
neighbor,
came in,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long
started
you
with
own
the
the property?
application to figure what
I
we
don't
get
own the
before here.
property.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Has there been an
putting
application
in
to
the
move
lawn.
the shed?
That's why I
Oh,
said
you're
anything
great, you're
to-
the,
that he would like
you're
to
the
do, to
landscaper.
put it on
Right,
this
yeah. Custom
application, to
landscape.
move the shed,
Okay.
move the gazebo, and to install the lawn, so that way we.
I haven't gone through, is that on, is that in here to move the shed?
That should be.
Okay.
Yes.
I believe it is.
So,
I'm like, I figured.
could be remediation issues if there were trees cut down, right, Tom?
There could be, I don't know.
But
how
we
many-
don't know when the trees were cut down.
The property
But we know
owner
that they
told-
were.
Told me that when that macro burst came through Brookfield.
Yeah,
it
2018.
Yeah, it wiped out a few of the trees,
Mm-hmm.
and they just had the trees cleaned up. They
Mhm.
didn't cut any trees
Oh, okay,
per
okay,
se
so the
down.
macro burst may have been the culpable for taking the trees down,
Correct.
and they just cleaned it up.
Took out the
Now we're
roots too?
cleaning out.
And now we're just cleaning it up, a little soil, a little seed, a little
Right.
straw.
They put a little grass in after the macroburst too in that case,
No,
because it looks like the lawn grew a little bit between 2016 and 2019.
yeah,
Wait,
I
where's-
can't
Which
say.
picture do you have there?
I don't know if you have
So
these.
unfortunately, you
The
don't, because
aerials
they've
are
been
just
taken
in the
into
file.
pocket. I
Oh.
apologize.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So here's the aerials, it's 2011,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2016, which is quite similar. There's a few less trees in the front potentially. But if you notice, there's still a tree line here, but he's saying that a bunch of trees came down in the macroburst,
That's just
and
what the homeowner told me.
which is what he's getting from.
So roots,
The
roots
client.
and everything came right out.
No, they, I think they ground a couple stumps, and then they left a couple stumps.
Okay. All right, so there's evidence, Tom. We should go count rings.
But if it was from the macroburst, I mean, they didn't remove them.
They did not remove them.
Right.
You know,
Just
we
cleaning up.
literally went in there.
Well, they didn't fell them. They removed them.
Okay, correct.
They were rotted, whatever the case may be. When I got there, all we did is literally weed whack.
Hmm.
Because it was, you know, just growing brush, you know, and
So,
we were gonna put in
And,
one.
you know, this picture, it's funny, it doesn't look, this is similar to other applications, and it doesn't look like wetlands there.
right, but it's, well, according to the other drawing, it looks
Yeah.
like the wetlands come right, like,
Yeah.
by the edge of the
Yeah,
shed, so this
yeah.
would be wetlands, this wouldn't.
Yeah,
It's elevated
You know,
towards
we
the
just,
back of their property.
we,
A neighbor, the one who had called, his lawn's right there. And this part is elevated.
Mhm.
And it comes down to where the shed is, which is one of those barnyard sheds.
Where the shed is right now.
Yeah,
Where the shed is right now, according to this drawing, looks like it's primarily out of the wetlands, but it's getting moved into the wetlands.
Do we want to get a more definitive answer as to whether that's wetland?
I'm leaning toward that, similar to
the other
Yeah.
one we just did,
the one we just did, yes.
yeah.
I mean, I personally, that's between you guys, I don't know.
But the
Remember
problem is,
what the whole
the
property
problem
is.
is we gotta show some degree of consistency.
Yeah.
Because we had somebody here before that the map showed was in the wetland.
And it didn't look
And
wet.
they went
but-
there and they said, you know. it's
they had a
fully done.
soil
Yeah.
scientist come out
Right.
and
So we may,
evaluated.
I agree with Tim, we may have to lean in that direction, again, just for consistency.
Leave the shed there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me.
Right, no, I understand.
What they want to do.
Sometimes that might be the best thing, you know, let a sleeping dog lie.
Laura, what do you think of that?
I think that is a commission level decision. I will not weigh in on whether or not you want it to go to the soil scientist or not. You did do it for a deck and you did do it for,
Yeah, I would suggest that if they want to move the shed and continue planting grass on in that corner, they should do a soil sample. They want to.
We're not having them jump through hoops, right?
We're doing what we've done in the
Right,
similar
right.
situations.
Right. We don't want to be cruel to anybody, but that, you know, that's my point, but,
Speak for yourself.
okay, I go along with, a soil scientist on this.
Yeah.
If they wanna do it, and if they don't wanna do it, maybe they just leave everything alone.
Well, I agree, we'll get it. I think we wanna recommend a soil scientist to go out there, just, really just for consistency too.
So don't put any lawn in, don't do anything?
Don't do anything until you get a
Right
soil
now.
scientist.
Don't do anything until you know that isn't wetlands or it's not functioning wetlands anymore.
Which is
You
just what we
follow?
found out, by the way. We just found out, we thought it was, it wasn't, so the soil scientist, but the map showed it was. That's why we're,
Well,
We just had someone who wanted to build a deck, and then his map looked like this. So we said, make sure that's actually wetlands. He went, he had a soil scientist come, it's not wetlands, he can do whatever he wants.
It was
I believe it was
formerly
formerly
wetlands,
wetlands, yeah.
but it wasn't
Formerly.
functioning
It's been
now. That was,
yeah, this
Which
might
is-
be, I mean,
might-
you don't see any water on the surface, right?
which is entirely possible it's the case with this one too.
Right, exactly
Yeah.
right,
The age
exactly
of
right.
the age
well,
of the
it
property, et
doesn't
cetera.
look like wetlands,
Right.
you know, from the
They just wanna
pictures,
put a
it's
lawn
the
in.
same thing.
I mean,
Oh,
it said the neighbor's lawn's right there.
Well, it's not, but it's, we have to be consistent, that's the problem.
so the neighbor's lawn is where on this picture here?
Right behind the shed,
Right behind the shed.
which,
So,
I'm not gonna get into all that.
I just see
but-
trees.
No, we're
No.
just dealing with this property,
Right.
nothing else.
But that, according to this map, that whole thing is on the same type of wetlands that this is on.
And we're not disputing that,
Yeah, I know, I'm not saying you are.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying.
right? It's just.
You know, what's amazing is the house was built,
I
and
don't
it's built
disagree.
on wetlands.
Well, it's not amazing if you go down Pocono Road, a lot of, all those are,
Hmm.
When it was built.
Okay.
when it was built, right? So,
Don't tell them they gotta hire a soil scientist,
Well, they don't have to, but then
then they don't
we're
move
gonna have
on.
trouble
And they don't get
approving
one,
this.
correct.
They don't move, and then I take the process out of there.
What they wanna do is weigh how badly they wanna do this versus the cost of hiring a soil
Right, I mean, it's only,
scientist.
it's 30 feet, it's not, I don't know if they're gonna wanna do that.
Well,
that-
that's
for
their
that
option,
amount of-
you know, they have to spend their money, you know, in a wise
I
fashion.
mean, if they find out it's no longer active wetlands, then they can do whatever they want with the property.
They can put their gazebo in.
It does give
Yes,
them
they
a
get their
lot of
gazebo.
flexibility, you know, if a soil scientist does come out and says it's no longer
Active.
active wet, however, there's no guarantee that the report will come out that way. It could
Correct.
come out that it is active wetlands, you know, it's a gamble, this whole thing.
Yeah, okay.
So, you know, and it may not be worth it. I don't know how badly, they wanna do this.
okay,
No problem, not for me.
Yeah, no, it's the way you know, tell them about this.
Yeah, no, I'm just telling them, if they wanna do it, they gotta get a soil scientist.
well, not if they're gonna do it, give them a
they
better
want to.
opportunity to do it.
Yeah, and if
Doing
they
it
don't
doesn't-
wanna spend the money on a soil scientist,
Then potentially they could have a dream backyard.
a what?
A dream backyard,
No.
if it doesn't come back active wetlands.
Then there's no regulation as far as cutting.
Okay.
That's all.
We'll see, I will talk to them.
All
Yeah.
right,
We couldn't
sorry
have
about
acted on
that.
this anyway
no
this
problem.
evening because it's not a, it was new business still, so.
What's
it's
that?
still- We couldn't have acted on this anyway this evening because it's still under new business, so you need that 2 weeks,
Okay,
so.
So we got a couple weeks to.
Yeah,
Mull it
November,
over.
September
whatever they
9th.
wanna do.
Yep.
Okay.
all right.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
you
you.
too, bye now.
So, make a motion to
Continue.
continue, okay.
Second.
6B, W24-54, White Pine Drive, motion to continue until September 6th?
Ninth.
9th.
Ninth.
Until September 9th.
Second,
Third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Okay, so we got correspondence.
What's PGP?
what was this?
So this is pretty much.
Oh, that was the person whose house was flooding,
Oh,
A
okay.
state,
White Pine.
a statewide application that is received, that we get notification from the town that they're treating a pond. It really doesn't, there's no action that needs to be taken on it. I put them on here as a courtesy, just so you know that they are treating certain ponds with pesticides. But it doesn't go through us because it's outside of our regulations. It actually goes straight to the state for DEEP approval. And the DEEP notifies the town.
And there are two of them, right?
And it's normally condo complexes.
Do you know what PGP stands for?
Is that in our folder here?
Pesticide. It should be in your correspondence. Is
Oh,
that not in
yes,
there?
yep,
Pesticide.
mm-hmm.
The pond and lake connection.
That would be too many acronyms in my
Alright.
world.
I'll pass. Alright.
Okay.
Okay, on to review of previous minutes. Anyone have any questions on the previous minutes?
I didn't see anything.
Negative.
No, I didn't see anything.
Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the,
July 22nd.
yeah, that doesn't seem right. It should be August 12th.
It is August 12th on the agenda.
No, but it says minutes, July 22nd, 2024.
Oh,
Yeah, it does.
is the header wrong?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a good catch.
just lucky. Just, so I think we're gonna have to,
So as amended, maybe?
I guess we could amend it to August 12th. It's August 12th, 2024. And I didn't see anything wrong with the minutes beyond that. And I'll approve with the date change.
Any seconds?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Informal discussion.
This is all me, if you don't mind. So, as we know, we had a major rain event over the last week. I am getting many, many, many calls and concerns about driveways, particularly is my main concern, have totally disappeared, washed out over water crossings. Some of these houses have been totally inaccessible to the point where, yes, actually Cotter Burn, up Toots Hill Road are two that are coming to my head, like right off the top. They actually washed out the entire driveway. At one section, the culvert collapsed. Another section, the culvert's halfway down the brook. It was a major rain event. For health and safety reasons, I have kind of given the green light to go ahead to make sure it's safe for them to get out, that nobody is stuck. With the caveat that once they come in with their plan for what they want to do for these water crossings and rebuild them, that they come to the commission. And I'm hoping that the commission was okay. I was very concerned about health and safety and ability for emergency access to some of these houses to kind of, these aren't 100% fixes. The fixes will come before the commission. These are the Band-Aids to patch us through until they get some engineered plans, because some people have collapsed, totally eroded away, and it became fairly apparent that it can't be a replacement necessarily as a like for like, that they're gonna have to fully engage services of an engineer to be able to handle the kind of capacity that, or if they want to, I guess ultimately it's up to them on whether or not, but I think it was an awakening experience, including one of the applications that we got today. She was one of the houses that I wanted to go to on High Ridge because I was out there not during a rain event and it was wet. I can only imagine what, I saw the pictures that she submitted today.
What would you say the numbers are of people that are having,
For access issues,
Yeah.
I think we're about 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of other people who have other issues as far as that, but access was my main concern on green lighting any kind of work.
Is this
What
like
are they-
This
above
was supposed to be
watercourse
a 1 in
access?
1,000 year
People who
storm,
have
I
bridges
believe.
for driveways? Really?
Yeah, culverts, bridges for driveways.
Mhm.
What are they doing for temporary fixes?
Mostly they're kind of
Plywood.
patching and putting over. There has been some fill in some areas. To be perfectly honest with you, sometimes the access has totally been gone. So sometimes the culvert remains. And they're kind of graveling.
So they realize their temporary fixes might very well have to be dug back up to,
I don't think it's gonna be universal. It was such a big storm, and they said once in 1,000 years. So some of these people that have problems may not have problems again in the foreseeable
right, but
They
they're
understand that
doing
they are
they're doing
temporary.
a quick fix to get access. And
Oh, yeah, they have to.
potentially to have it all sized right, they might have to,
And a lot of these,
Redo
the culverts, I mean, I'm starting to see a lot of corrugated metal, pipes that are in there that have, we have a question at the back.
So since I'm assuming that a lot of the temporary fixes that are being done are violations of, so I just think that maybe, maybe Dunn should declare some sort of special emergency for.
Waiver, some kind of a
Something
waiver.
like that, yeah.
So,
Is that-
It'd be nice to have like a letter from our mayor saying
so,
these things are fine, because neighbors might complain. You know, we might have another rainstorm, and if people have filled something in,
I
we could have a
understand,
big
which is
backup,
why I
which could
wanted to
cause
bring
some
it to you.
problems. We need like if we wanna let people do Band-Aids, they're gonna need a get out of jail free card if
So
necessary.
FEMA did declare it
Hmm?
as a disaster. He did declare, and he did declare a state of emergency for Selectman Dunn when this occurred. So we do have that the emergency provision of what we are operating. As far as actual true work in the wetlands, I've been encouraging them to, a lot of these are actually gonna require engineering, and they know that it's
Yeah.
not, I mean, we're talking, you can't Band-Aid this to have it last. These are temporary.
yeah, some of the
fixes.
pictures I've seen.
Just to be able to, because of course it happens on shared driveways often, I'm not sure why, so it doesn't just affect one house, it's affecting 2 or 3.
Hopefully they get along.
I'm just saying, if it was my house and I had to get out, and I had a truck come dump a bunch of rock into Merwin Brook so I can get over it, I don't want anybody coming and complaining and getting fines.
Well, I'd imagine they put a pipe under there before they just dump rock in. They'll put some kind of piping through there for the water to flow instead of just,
Yeah,
I'm not an engineer.
They can't, they're not blocking, none of the temporary fixes were totally blocking the brook, it was to recover culverts to
I'm not that
kind
kind
of.
of doctor, Tom.
what's that?
I'm not that kind of doctor.
But
You're a
just wanted to
specialist.
let you aware of the situation as far as emergency,
It's horrible.
it's,
Understood.
you know, I kind of, my hands were tied as far as what we can do, hopefully.
It's almost like the microburst,
Exactly,
yeah. It's just-
where which they did, you
Right,
guys
I
did
mean-
declare it was kind of an emergency, you're
Right,
not going to
exactly.
punish people for trying to.
No, I don't think they should be punished for this. No.
So, but I don't know, do you think that that's acceptable, that he already declared a state of emergency? or
Yes.
do you want- Okay,
Yeah, everybody agree?
Yes.
I'm on board.
just so, and then going forward, I am suggesting that they, you know, come up with an application and go forward to the commission for
have at
each
least-
of their permanent fixes.
We have at least half a dozen driveways
What
coming
should
up
we
So
do?
you have about a half a dozen driveways coming up.
and
Do
some
you,
washouts next to them.
We might need a special meeting.
Do you want this, or should we put this in the folder?
That was his copy.
I don't think we should throw it away.
What's it for?
That was for White Pine, from Merwin
No,
Brook.
no, I think
Wasn't it White Pine?
High Ridge.
High Ridge, pardon me.
One High Ridge, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Do you
the one
wanna keep this?
where they wanna
Okay.
reestablish the
Yeah,
wetlands.
I don't think we should throw it
We
away.
have,
do
I believe we
it.
have the same
I
map in the
actually have
file.
it. He was just drawing on this one, but I do have this map, I'm 100%
Yes.
Okay.
certain. So.
Okay, let's, adjourn,
That's it.
we all done,
We'll informal
I
discussion.
believe so. Next meeting, September 9th.
okay?
Motion, anyone?
I'd like to make a motion that we, adjourn this evening's meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Turn off your microphones, folks.